Yo, what up, everyone? This is the Sports Entertainment and Drinks Podcast with your homeboy LV, the homie Nucho, the homie
Hey,
Mar,
what's going
homie,
on?
homie Trill. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Man, nothing much, man. Wild week of sports, man. Wild and sad week so far.
Yeah.
We'll get right into it, man. Oh, yeah, somebody comment. Oh, Zoe, what up, Zoe? We got to get Zoe on one of these episodes, man. Zoe's one of the loyal supporters. And you know his thing is we got a couple of loyal supporters. And one day we're gonna shout y'all out, man, individually, man. Thanks for everybody's support who shows up on a weekly basis, man. We truly appreciate it. So we're gonna go
For
ahead and
sure.
kick things off, man, with what we are drinking. This is a sports and entertainment and drinking podcast, so we dabble in the drinks. Marv, what you got? Tell the people what you got, man. You got some niggas. Remember, we are on Spotify, so people can, you know what I'm saying? We gotta make sure we give kind of
Casamigos and they ho.
okay, Casamigos. Neutral, you got that good old H2O, I'm assuming.
No, I got a little. Really can't see it, but it's a
Okay.
Modelo.
Dello, all right. All right.
Modelo, you can't see it.
Dello. I got a little bit of Patron left, man. Not much left in here, man. A little Patron, man. Just sticking to my tequila tip. So, man, like I said, man, it's been a wild week of sports. Sad week of sports too. It's still ongoing, but we'll get to that in a minute. But I want to kick off with something a little different this week, man. I saw somebody on Facebook posted. I want to give credit to it, but I can't remember the name at the time. But it was an interesting question, and I think all of us had that moment. If you could relive or experience a moment in sports, what would it be? Granted, it could be a memory that you lived through or haven't lived through, or before our time, or any sports period of time. When I originally saw the post, I wanted to relive it and hopefully change it. Marvin, I think you can relate to this. It was 2015, Michigan State. Oh, there's trouble with the snap. It still haunts my dream. I hear that call in my dreams on a weekly basis. On the verge of being undefeated, on our way to play Ohio State later on. It was a big game, night game, and we fumbled the snap, punt, because we got too cute. I think Harbaugh wanted to fake it. You can't tell me otherwise. He wanted to fake the punt. It went wrong. We lost the game to Michigan State, and that was the first of his many failures. We'll get to him later. But that's just one of my examples. Guys, go ahead.
I got a clip I'm gonna send you, Vizzo, of
Okay.
one of the homies. He went to state.
Okay.
His clip went viral. He was at that game in his state hoodie in the student section going absolutely insane.
I saw that.
I think
saw
that
that.
clip was
He's the
like
only dude in the sea of Michigan fans going crazy.
yeah, he was just like circling at everybody and going
Yeah.
crazy, and he was just one like Ric Flair for like 2 minutes straight. Like that junk was crazy, bro. But let me see my moment. I probably wanted to be in the building when Jordan took down Seattle and he crossed over Russell.
Utah.
And that that follow through with the hand, you know what I'm saying?
Come on,
Just
against Utah.
yeah, against Utah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's a good one. That's a memorable moment, very for sure. Trill, Nujo.
Mine would have to be the LeBron, the 3-1, the down 3-1 comeback on Golden State.
Okay.
That was a big man. That was so big. That Game 7 game, man, with the block and Kyrie hitting the three at the end of it. I'll never forget that. I was with a bunch of haters, and it just felt good just to be able to come back. Because at the time, Golden State had the #1 record in the NBA. So what LeBron did with that Cleveland team, man, was just and Kyrie, what they did together was simply like one of the best moments for me. As a grown up now, I had my Super Bowl days as a kid with the Cowboys. But...
Yeah, of course. Of course. We're trying to figure out how that feels. We're trying to figure out how that
Yeah.
For me, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Shout out everybody that's on the podcast. Shout out everybody.
Sure.
But for me, I would have loved to have been there when Kobe had his last game. I would have loved to have been in the building there just to experience that, just to be there. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing against the Utah Jazz. What he scored 60 that game, I think it was.
Right.
So yeah, I would have
Right.
loved to have been there just to see Kobe's last game, experience that Mamba out, that whole setting. So I think that would have been the experience I would have probably wanted to be a part of. So shout out Kobe.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, one of my best moments, him dropping 81, to be in that building and see that many points put up in the modern era, would have been incredible to watch because
Yeah.
it was like back what 20, who was that? 2009 or 2006. Yeah, so social media wasn't really popping then. So today, like we saw, Donovan Mitchell dropped 71. It's everywhere. Kobe, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's kind of one thing. You
Yeah.
see a sports center again, but having replays of the game and stuff like that, you see that maybe the next day on ESPN Classic or something. But to be in the building when he dropped 81 in this day and age, it's definitely a good memory. Zoe said the Pistons taking down the mighty Lakers. That was fun for the city. Can't lie. As a Kobe fan, it was fun. I was at the parade. I had my Pistons hat on for a day. I was down there
For a day.
for a day. Yeah, I definitely was part of that crowd. Man. It was being you guys know winning the championship in your city was always fun. Let alone basketball, man.
Well, we had experienced that with the Bad Boys, but I was too young for that.
I would say I wasn't.
But for it to happen in 2004 at that time, like I drove to Detroit from college. And it was just like the craziest thing you ever want to see.
Yeah,
like everybody on the street showing love, high fiving. Like it wasn't no drama, just everybody out there having a great time. Like that was
East
something.
side, West side, showing love to each other. It was. So yeah. So real quick, we don't have to make this long. I have something I really want to say on this. You guys can, throw your input in. Hey, what Harbaugh did the last few years has been great. Simply great. And I think I shared the clip with you guys. Like about this, I think what Paul Feinbaugh said it. He said, "Oh, that's great, but you 0-6 in games after January 1st, which are all bowl games."
That's crazy.
And I'm like, man, true. So we get over the Michigan State hump. Now we can't get over the bowl hump. And I understand, we got there and they outplayed them. Harbaugh always trying to be the smartest man in the room. Us trying to run it. No, we're not athletic. Against guys who are way faster than us. I have never seen the team so prepared for a trick play. I have never seen it.
They definitely was. Yeah, they definitely was.
And now there's rumors that I forgot what team was looking at him. It always happens after his season's over. It's always some team that he said he's talking to. I frankly don't think he's gonna go anywhere because he hasn't made. And a local guy on the radio was saying he's 60 plus years old. All these head coaches they're hiring now are young coaches.
Right.
Him trying
That's
to go
true.
back at 60.
That is true.
It's gonna be tough. He can get away with it in college, like Saban did. Saban stuck his toes in the NFL. Like, you know what?
Even his offensive game plan is a little old school. I mean, he runs the ball tough. Not really a spread offense type of guy, but you can continue. I just want to throw that in there.
Well, that was it. I was just saying. I don't know. It was a deflating loss because I think the TCU was a great team, but I think we could have not easily won, but we could have been up by at least 41 points at one point. Yeah. Just everything that went wrong. You're trying to hand the ball out to the fullback, where you don't really get the ball to. You run a Philly special on them. Like we had 3 drives in the 5-yard line and that we couldn't score on. And do 2 pick sixes. Shouts out to TCU, man. They did what they're supposed to do. They came in. I wouldn't say they shocked the world because they was a good team, but I don't know. I need somebody to win. Lions, Michigan. I just needed. I thought this was my hope. I thought this was my year. So you guys can give you guys input, or not.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I was rooting for a Big Ten college football championship, and both of the teams let me down, bro. Michigan with their inability to stop big plays, we haven't seen that really like all season. Like nobody just hit big play after big play on Michigan, and the way TCU was racking them up was crazy. Um, and then our stubbornness to not make adjustments um, killed us, man. Like, why do you keep blitzing this team? And every time you blitz, you give up a touchdown.
Every step forward we made, they made 2 more steps. Like they were prepared for everything we came at them. And shouts out to them and their crew because they outplayed Harbaugh. Harbaugh was trying to do something.
Oh, he definitely got outcoached.
He played out his element, man.
Which is why I don't think that his value, if he is trying to go to the NFL, I don't think it's going to be a high ceiling for him right now. He got outcoached by a first year head coach.
And the team he's on probably get looked at in the NFL is teams who just wants a headline, the Texans type of team. He's not gonna get to no
right.
You know what I'm saying? And some guy said the only older coach you're gonna get coming out being that old or around that age is Sean Payton. Sean Payton is the only coach I know who can get a job right now. If you that guy, you can't do it. It's a young man's league, young man's coaching league now. You're seeing all these young coaches get jobs.
Yeah, I think Harbaugh. I think it's time for him to leave, man. Honestly, he's kind of always been really, he's been like a. To me, I didn't understand the hype. Besides him being a quarterback at his school, what is the hype? I mean, we've seen what he did with Kaepernick, but what always strikes me with that is why was he so eager to run? If he had success, they didn't win the Super Bowl, but why was he so eager to leave that success to go back to a college program? That always was kind of weird to me because he was doing good at the top level. But I mean, it is what it is. I think it's time to get a new head coach. The talent is there. Y'all definitely recruit well. Y'all steal players from Ohio State. They take players from y'all also. But the talent is there. I just think that I don't know. I think that Harbaugh, that ship has sailed. I think it's kind of over with, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. I mean, I didn't realize until you said it, Viz, that he was 0-6. After games after what you said, January, whatever it was.
All bowl games.
Yeah, that's crazy. It might just be time for him to move around. It'll be interesting to see what if an NFL team does come calling. I mean, I could probably see him like with somebody like the Broncos or something like that. I mean, they already put it out there that he's entertaining it. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him being a head coach in the NFL with a team like the Denver Broncos. To be honest with you. But yeah, it's probably time for him to move around from Michigan. I mean, you ain't winning no bowl games. You're not bringing in no championship.
I mean, I just don't understand the hype of calling him the quarterback whisperer. Where,
it's overrated.
Because you had Colin Kaepernick, but I mean,
Colin Kaepernick and he had Luck.
Yeah, he had Andrew Luck in college, but Andrew Luck was that guy. Like he was a great quarterback before Harbaugh.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he can't be a whisperer. If he's already great, you can't be a whisperer if somebody was already good. And Kaepernick was just a different cat. Once they figured out Kaepernick, I joke about this all the time. And once they figured him out, it was easy for him to be out the league. He has that much of a great talent. And I talk about it, joking about that. But if you're that great,
wow, you saying something bad about Cap?
No, I'm saying, but the talent will always outweigh everything else. If you're that great or that good, you'll be on the team. That's real talk.
That's true.
What you want, if you're that good, you'll be on the team.
That's true.
So I just want to get that Harbaugh talk. It was on my mind. I'm just, hey man, get him. I don't say get him out of there, but it's all we got. It's all we got. Over to the NBA, man. We've seen some guys in the last 2 days, man, go on a tear. Number one, boy, Donovan Mitchell, man. Donovan Mitchell put up 71 from and and if you think about how tall do y'all think he is? Like
6'3", 6'4"?
That's what I always before I, and this is all honesty, before 2K22, I thought Donovan Mitchell was like 6'5",
Me
Me
too.
too. Me too.
Me too.
Yeah,
Oh,
me too. Yeah.
6'3".
So you
This
see, yeah.
dude is and he's paving the way from guys like John Morant. I think he's still 6'2", 6'3", right?
John
Yep.
Morant. Don't forget about the
Hmm.
number one. Well, I don't know if he's the number one recruit, but Mikey Williams. He's around
Yeah,
6'1",
yeah.
6'3" in high school. So yeah, yeah,
But
man.
71
Yeah, it's
is tough the way he gets buckets. He's
Right.
not a phenomenal 3-point shooter, but he gets he can shoot. But everybody know him from driving, attacking the rim. But 71 is big, big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Strong
And
pull
this
up.
shooting has got better over time. Also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I and that Cleveland team is good too. I mean,
yeah.
with the moves they made, getting them in the off season, I thought they'd be okay. But they're competing really tough in the East. Um, I mean, 71, 70 is big. I think the last person who dropped at least that much was Book hit 70, right?
Booker. Yeah.
70. So 71 is dope. Just right above him is Kobe, and then it's Wilt. So I think it's funny the next day the team get popped for a PED test.
Yeah. Oh
Oh
yeah. We
yeah,
got.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
We
know
got
they
to
gotta
test
you
you
gotta
now.
test them out. Like what's going on here? What's going on?
So
Yeah.
yeah, we got
We got
guys
to
like
test
him hitting 71. You got Giannis dropping 55 last night, which is, you see 55 from a guy like him, like, 55.
It is what it
But
is.
considering the fact that he don't shoot threes,
That's big too.
55 the hard way. I mean, I
you.
don't know his complete stats, but 55 from Giannis is it's pretty tough to consider. He's not a jump shot shooter.
Didn't
Uh,
didn't Luca put up 50 not too long ago?
yeah, we talked about
60.
Luka. We
Well,
talked
I know
about
he had 60, but he had another big game too, like last week.
Luca's
Like
been
no,
hooping,
earlier
bro.
this
yeah.
week.
We
Yeah, like
You
established
see it.
that. We established
You
Luka's been a
see
hooper,
it.
man.
I'm just saying
Luca
he
been
had
Luka,
balling,
another.
boy.
hey,
I think he had a
it's still
50
tough.
after that 70. I'm gonna look it up.
It's
Yeah.
still
Yeah,
tough.
He
Like
did. He did.
Yeah.
didn't
Luka
it?
had
Yeah.
been
Just
averaging like 40. He had been averaging a triple double with like 45 points
Yeah.
his last 4 or 5 games or something like that. That's just
Yeah.
absurd.
but I mean, just overall, bro, it's just been some good ass basketball played
And
throughout the whole league. You got, like I said, Mitchell had 71, Giannis 55. I think Siakam had a career high like 45 the other night.
Yeah.
And then you see what Joker's doing, you see what Embiid's doing. It's crazy right now, bro. Like I just can't wait for the playoffs to get here and just see what happens. But it's some great ass basketball being played
I'm
these last couple weeks.
This is the best time. This is where basketball heat up and you know who's who. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right around this time. Everybody's trying to make that push before the deadline to know what they got, to see what pieces they might need to get it
Yeah.
going before the playoffs start. So this is a real fun time for basketball. And like I was telling everybody else, I'm like, a lot of these guys probably lighting it up for Kobe because you know what I'm saying. Like January was his month. Like January is when he came out there and got his 40s in.
Okay.
You know, so
interesting. Oh, yeah, there you go, Mar.
Interesting. I didn't think about it like that,
I
Mom.
didn't think about that either.
Kobe.
shout out
Um,
Kobe, man.
I'm liking the way the NBA is going. It's not the usual. LeBron's at his age still doing his thing, which is crazy.
We didn't
38
even
years
talk
Yeah.
old.
about that.
Right.
His birthday numbers was crazy. Pat Shiesty. That's great, new show. Yeah, I like seeing guys not named LeBron, KD, and Steph, doing their thing. I mean, Clay dropped 55, 50 last night, 51 last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, some good hooping going on, but football is so dominant that it's gonna still, especially with this week, the last couple of days with
Man.
the Monday night game, which we will get into in a minute, man. But another big story coming out is Zion out at least 3 weeks with the hamstring strain, man, which is sad because the Pelicans are rolling, man. I think number 2 right now in the West, number 2 and number 3 in the West. They're playing good team basketball. He's averaging 26. You got your boy skinny dude, Brandon Ingram. He's averaging 20. So they're playing good basketball, man. He's been, he's proved me yet another proof wrong by me. After that injury, I didn't think how he was going to be, man. He's been balling. Team number 3 in the West, put up numbers. Now he's out 3 weeks, and that's a long 3 weeks, especially this time in the NBA, getting close to
In
the
NBA.
All-Star weekend.
Yeah.
Crucial.
Shit. For me, every time I want to get on that Zion hype train, he get hurt. Every time, bro. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, just the way his body is structured, like he's gonna deal with these injuries. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate because he's starting to get rolling again. He's starting to be that dominant force in the league. But like I said, the way his body is compounded and structured, he's gonna have these nagging injuries throughout his career. So it's tough, man.
He refused to. I mean, it's tough to tell a man who plays with so much power and force, hey, go ahead and get and slim up. It probably would take a little bit away from his game,
Yeah.
but he need to do it if he wants to have longevity in this game the way he plays the game.
Right.
Okay, I'm letting Nucho go. And I got a question to ask everybody about this situation after Nucho gives his take.
Trill said he hopped off the train. I'm hyping on it. What I saw with Zion and how he played was incredible. He's a dominant force when healthy. I like it so much. Yeah. I want to wait. I want to see him come back again, man.
He's still young.
I want to see what he could do. He's still young. The signs are bad though. He's young and he's showing signs that he can't stay healthy. So those are bad signs. As far as what he brings to the table when he is healthy, at one point they were the number 1 seed, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's dominant when he plays. I like watching him play. But the injuries, I don't know if it's the training, how he trained in the off season or during the season, but we got to figure out how to keep him on the court. You can go, Biz.
Yeah, so my question to that, and more towards what Trill was saying, all y'all was saying, his body type and the way he plays. Is the difference between him and Giannis the fact that Giannis made like he's more structured to play that kind of way because he's taller? I think they had the same level of athleticism. Is the fact that Giannis is just taller, or what's different? They both play the same way.
Right. I just think that some people get hurt a lot.
Question right there.
Yeah, it is. Giannis is a little different, man. He's definitely a little different. I don't know. I can't answer that.
I think for me, Giannis stays in that weight room. Like, people don't even realize that. Like, Giannis, when he first came into the league, he was just this slim kid.
Look the same.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he don't even look the same. And from just stuff from from what I read and just hearing stuff about Giannis, like he stays fit, like he stays in that weight room. Now, I'm not saying Zion doesn't, but I mean, you kind of got to look at it like you said. I mean, same type of player, same type of style of play, but one is on the court damn near 82 games. The other guy's missing 3 weeks at a time, months at a time. Like, so some ain't adding up there.
Right.
Hey, I can tell you like this. Zion probably ain't doing all the right things. I mean, you can look at a person's body and tell, you know what I'm saying, when they're doing all the right things.
Yeah.
And even, I mean, it might sound crazy, but I think it's telling that even like the way his skin look. When them athletes be clean and all that, they be clean. All them bumps stuff you got going on. I mean, I ain't trying to dog them, but hey, man, that look like some tacos and pizza involved in that.
Yeah, he said those grease bumps. The grease bumps.
He got the New Orleans that's got eating good down in New Orleans, huh?
Hey, he's telling on himself, bro.
Mars said them grease bumps right there.
Man, grease bumps, man. All that Creole food out in New Orleans, getting really good, eating good. I mean, hey, but it's interesting that I was interested in my own question. I thought it was a good question myself. Because like Trill said, Giannis don't look the same when he came to the NBA, and I think that comes to the way they both were brought into the league. Giannis, and even if you saw his movie, he wasn't even he had to fight to even get him to the combine. and even then, he wasn't a top pick. He was in the bottom of the Bucks roster starting off.
Yeah.
Where he is now, putting in the work. Him and his brother sharing shoes, things of that nature. Zion coming out of college, the Nike contracts was there. All the hype was there. We've been watching him since high school.
Yeah.
He had the hype since then. So, I think that I don't know if that totally plays a part of it, but it's really big. Working to get to that top spot and staying there. And you see, like you said, he's not. You don't see Giannis off game. Like he just, all NBA players take off a game here and there. But he's been a champion, an MVP. Works for him. What up? What up, Mel? What up, Mel?
I mean, that could definitely. I mean, that's a good point, Viz, that you brought up. I mean, Giannis definitely had to prove himself more than Zion did.
Yeah.
He didn't even have a shoe contract until he was dang near a superstar.
Right.
Yeah. It took some time. Yeah.
The way he was brought over here, his mom's pops gonna come over here doing the whole ordeal. So yeah, I mean, him fighting there and to stay there is big. Some people when they get to that that kind of regimen of staying healthy, getting healthy, it's hard to stop because you're like, all right, if I stop now, look what I got to go back to. Look where my family came from. To get that. So it could be a thing. So real quick, we talked about it last week, man. The Nets are looking better and better, man. Hey man, then they are fighting for the top spot right now, and by Boston losing by almost 40 last night. Man, this Nets looking at a team that we thought they should have been a year and a half ago, even before Harden left.
I think so. I always had faith in the Nets and Kevin Durant, and when Kevin Durant was hold on, man, hold on.
I gotta check the chat, man.
Check the tape.
I always said that Kevin Durant does not need to leave the Nets. I feel like
you did say that.
Enough talent to win a championship in Brooklyn. Like he don't have to go nowhere. He is the dude. Like you, the superstar, just get the team right. Get the team right. So
he did say that.
Saying.
He did say that.
That's all I'm saying. So
I give you that, Nucho. I give you that.
Yeah, I think that this is what Kevin Durant needs, man. This is what we're looking for. If you that dude, take this team and do what you can with it, because you got decent talent. You got good talent. You got good talent. That thing that happened in the beginning, I think that was just, teams gelling, new players, new pieces. They had new pieces come in. But the Nets are who we think they are, man. They're a good team. They're a good team. And they'll be there at the end.
Yeah, it's good to see just because, you want to see KD shine. You want to see Kyrie shine, especially, with everything that they dealt with. I think the team that we're seeing right now is a team that's playing, they're having fun again. You see KD on the court, and when Nash was coaching, it was like KD wasn't really into the games. Like he just had this vibe, like he really don't want to be here. And then, they made this coaching change now, and he's smiling on the court, he's having fun. You know what I'm saying? He's interacting with his teammates, and now so I think the Nets are I think they're having fun. I think they're at a point where they're more comfortable with Jock Vaughn's being the coach. But yeah, I think they're gonna be at the top, if not number one. They will definitely be like the number 2 seed in the East, and they probably will definitely make some noise in the playoffs if they stay together and keep playing the way that they playing right now. So
yeah, I mean, they're having fun with Kyrie Irving is getting a tip dunk after a missed layup. He's
so
things are real good, and like you said, I think you really hit on a point last week, and I think you just said it again. The coaching change. I mean, we all thought, man, Steve Nash can't beat them. He can't be that bad, but they switch coaches to get the coach they want with Jacques Vaughn, who's been around the league for years, been assistant coach for years. If I'm not mistaken, was he under the Popovich tree?
Popovich, yeah, he played a lot for Pop, and he
well, I know he's been the head coach before. Okay. I know he had a job in Orlando years ago. But he's hung around, and he seems to be a player kind of guy. The fact that he got these teams rolling, I think they won 13 straight, and looking better and better, man. So switch over to the NFL news, man, and then of course, man, the biggest news uh, of the week that's still ongoing, man. Prayers out to Damar Hamlin, man, his family, man. I was Monday night. I was with my daughter at Monday Night Raw, and then it seemed like everybody in the stadium phone was going off at the same time, like in the match. There's guys around us checking their phones. I'm like, I don't want to check my phone. I'm trying to watch this, and it said, guy gets CPR on the field. I'm like, what? What? So the clips are on there before ESPN really knew what was going on. They were replaying over and over again, over and over again. I'm like, man, it don't seem like it was that, but um, so apparently, not apparently, he had a cardiac arrest on the field. He had to administer CPR, shock treatment, and everything to try to resuscitate him. Found out they tried to twice. I think they did it twice before taking him out to the hospital. He's still right now critical condition. I mean, it's tough to see that on the field, man. We hear about injuries and stuff like that, but to actually see it and live is tough to deal with because we all play sports. We know people who play sports. You take a hit, you see your friends and family get back up, walk off, and everything's cool. But see that young guy, second year in the league, everybody seem to love him on the team or off the team. Charity, blowing up the last 2-3 days. It's tough to watch, man. And like I said, prayers out to his family, man. I'll let you guys speak on it, but it's just a sad situation.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my wife had told me about it. I wasn't even watching the game. I walked in the kitchen and she was all like, da, 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 da. I'm like, what you doing watching the game?
Yeah.
Everything was kind of frozen. Everything was at a standstill. So it's crazy. It's a freak accident. I've never seen anything like this. We've all heard of stories in high school
Yeah.
of people that have actually passed away on the football field. This kind of felt like that situation, felt like the same situation. You saw the emotion from the players, from the coaches,
Yeah.
and I really respect the NFL for definitely counseling the game. I felt like it was the right thing to do just for that type of situation. That's bigger than a measly, a football game. I saw it as a freak accident, man, and it could happen. I've been seeing a lot of people on TV, a lot of anchors saying that the player that had the ball that he tackled, the way that he ran into him should have been a penalty. So I just hope that this is not something. I feel like football is safe enough. I don't want them to feel like, start calling targeting on offensive players also, even though they do it sometimes, but I don't want them to, kind of take it to that route. This was a freak accident. And as many times as we've watched football, we've never really seen anyone just drop, fall out like he did. But
No.
I don't think we'll see it happen again, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is definitely an isolated injury. And like you said, I've heard about it in college ranks, high school ranks, where there's saying have a healthy heart check. They run that, but never seen it in the NFL. And to see that man collapse on the field and then have to try to give CPR and give oxygen and all that stuff with the ambulance on the field, all of that for like 9-10 minutes, really had me shook, bro. Like,
Yeah.
man, did this man lose his life on the field? Like,
Right.
And that was tough, bro. And it ain't nothing that the NFL could do or try to spin or say. It's on their biggest night, Monday Night Football, on the biggest stage, on the game, a playoff implication type of game. Like, there was no way to massage that other than, hey, it looked bad, it felt bad, and you know, and even and that it just goes to show you, like, sometimes us as fans, uh reporters, analysts and stuff, like, something needs to be said about Skip Bayless, bro. Like, him being so way out of pocket by what he said was just, like, so insensitive and crazy. Like, I mean, most of the time I'm not here for cancel culture, but they need to just Skip ass down, like, suspended or something.
Man,
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel about it.
First off, definitely, just continue prayer to him and his family. Like, y'all all just hit it on the head. Like, man, that was something tough to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you see injuries all the time in football, but to see something like that on live TV, man, like Marv said, it had me shook as well.
Yeah.
Like, it was something different, and you just hope that he comes out of this, that situation, because I mean that's something different. Like, man, that
right,
it hit hard. It hit hard.
right.
I love the fact that everybody did come together. The whole NFL, all the players, or coming in,
Shout out
and
to Cincy fans.
what's
Yeah,
up.
I said shout out to Cincy clan
Oh
fans.
yeah,
Great
yeah,
commentary.
definitely. Yeah, shout out to the Bengals, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just coming together because at the end of the day, I mean, he's a football player, but he's also a human. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
somebody's child. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody's brother. At the end of the day, so I you could just continue prayer to him, and hope that he comes out of this and has a speedy recovery, because I mean his life has changed after this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely changed after this, so it's unfortunate, but and like you said, shout out to the NFL too, because when that situation was going on, I was like, there's no way they continue this game. And I was kind of iffy about it, because I'm like, this is it. Like Marv said, this was a big game. You know what I'm saying, for the for the playoffs and going forward. But again, shout out to the NFL for doing the right thing and canceling that game. Because I mean, I know if I was a player and that was my teammate, I can't play at that point. Like, what I'm
Right.
saying, this dude is on my mind. Like, I'm not worrying about football at this point. So it's a good thing that they definitely postponed the game, and what I'm saying, and made sure that he got the treatment that he needed. So just continue prayer to him, man, for real.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
there was no way they could play that game, man. You see these grown NFL men crying on field, man, who were real close to him. And like Marv said, man, and you two, Trill, man, Skip Bayless, man, it's always one thing to be that guy. You want to be that guy. You want to live up to the persona of who you are. You have 3 million people following you. You don't follow anybody. Even if that's not what you meant, you don't say it. That wasn't the time.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You still gonna be Skip
Yeah.
Bayless no matter if you said that or not. And now, and I had people telling me earlier that the show this morning wasn't the same because Shannon felt some kind of way about it.
Yeah.
And their chemistry is thrown off. That,
Right.
and you don't have to be that guy all the time, man. So it's and I watched Stephen A. Man. He said something not directly to him, but was just saying stuff about it, man. Like
Yeah.
always a time, man. And, it was so serious, man. Everybody was rocked. People who don't know sports was rocked by it because, and shout out to everybody, man, who the people who donated to his charity was the 2,500 before the game. It's close to $3 million now.
I think it's
Yeah.
close to 5 now.
Close to
So
five,
yeah,
and
That's
that's
what's up.
just showing
that's
love, man.
big,
Like
man.
you
That's
can't
what's
you
up.
can't be there for him. You can't physically be there. You can't hold him, man. You can't see him in the hospital. So the best thing to do, man, is donate. Donate something he loves.
Yeah.
It's just,
Skip better have donated too, man.
man,
He probably didn't. Hell
Hey,
no,
don't
he
I
know
ain't
know.
gonna lie. Skip, he's been apologetic since the whole
because he
council
got a
culture.
backlash. You
That's
can't
because
blame
everybody been on his ass. That's the only. I
usually
think
Skip
he's
would
only
say
doing that because
something.
everybody's on his ass right now.
Yeah,
Right,
usually
right.
Skip would say something and they'll laugh it off.
Yeah.
Just Skip being Skip, but it's time to place, man. That definitely
You
want to
saw he
place.
even became a LeBron fan.
Yeah, I know. So that's how he knew it was out of pocket. Then he knew he was out of pocket. He started cheering for
he,
LeBron. Well,
talking about,
Skip.
he became a LeBron fan overnight. I watch him every night.
So man, continue prayers for tomorrow, man.
Hey, real quick too, man. Shout out because I mean everybody's talking about it, and everybody has their opinion on it. But one person I want to shout out is Ryan Clark.
Oh man,
Ryan Clark has been saying all the right things, like what I'm saying, just keeping everybody head straight about the situation because he's been on that field, he's been a player, so he knows. You know what I'm saying, and everybody that's really been kind of touching on the subjects is just not really, to me, in my opinion, just not really saying the right thing. But he is, so I just wanted
he's
to say that.
straightforward with it too.
Yeah, straightforward with it as
he had
well.
me almost in tears watching him talk after the fact, because he's so real. He's been in the locker room with these guys. He knows, man, he's real about it. We appreciate him for giving us his real opinion, man. So as we try to switch lanes, man, like we had to show our respects, man, for the guy, man. It was tough to watch. So as we go to that, we try to switch back into a little brighter moment. We got a tough game Sunday, man. Win and go home, but kind of, because Marv so eloquently corrected me earlier. If Seattle wins, it don't even matter. So right now they have the last wild card spot. So we will have to watch the Seattle game. We have to be the biggest fans of the Rams, which is it's not looking good.
Trust Baker?
No. I think Seattle's gonna win that game.
You're gonna have to this week.
But that's where we are, man. And it shouldn't be that fact. You start the season.
I mean,
you start the year 1-6, and now you're fighting for a spot. It's just those what if games in the beginning. One of those wins, we wouldn't even have this conversation. But that's Lions. That's what me and Marvin watching all our lives and been feeling all our life. One win can change a whole season. But that's the situation that we see ourselves in. But we got to watch the Seattle game closely.
I mean, like I told y'all, man, regardless of what happens this week, man. No, I was gonna say, man, like y'all had. I mean, the season has been the season has been positive for y'all. I mean, like you said, y'all started off 1-6. Now you're at a point where, what I'm saying, you could possibly, sneak in the playoffs. Like a lot of teams don't come back from that. 1-6. I mean, a lot of teams are, looking towards the draft at that point, and what can we do? Or let's make a coaching change or whatnot. Y'all, fought back. What I'm saying, you guys are right there. So. Like you said, a couple things do have to happen, but y'all, I feel like y'all will handle up, and I actually have y'all winning over Green Bay. So we'll talk about that later too.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Talk about that. Yeah,
you gotta have heart, man. You gotta have heart. The only thing though is that, in all honesty, this Green Bay team has been rolling. They have. Their defense has been playing amazing. They're running the ball. And giving Aaron Rodgers a running game is very dangerous. So, honestly, this Green Bay team is hot right now. These are the teams that you're afraid to see in the playoffs. Teams like this. They've been rolling, winning. They locked down Justin Jefferson for one catch?
One catch, 15 yards. It made me lose my championship in fantasy. But go ahead.
Yeah, so this team is hot right now. But it's not over. It's not over. Detroit, you just got to win out, baby. Win out, man. Win out. Who do y'all need to lose?
Seattle.
Okay.
Play the Rams. I need Geno Smith to be Geno Smith that we knew.
Man, he been looking like it lately.
I need Geno Smith to just appear.
I don't know what Jet Geno.
Like lately, man.
Jet Geno. All right, man. So this could be really quick. So I came up with this topic, man. QB concerns for these teams, man. You keep them or move on. And it's just simple. Like, you keep the quarterbacks is there, and you move on. Simple as that. So start with Miami. Miami with Tua and his concussions. Right now they're not in the team. It's only so many quarterbacks coming out in the draft. Let's just put that out there first. But you can't, for some reason, Teddy Bridgewater is the most injured backup quarterback in history in the NFL.
So
somebody who plays whose career has been a backup the last 5 years, he's always hurt.
Always.
So Now they're down to their third string for the last game of the year.
A rookie.
What do you do with Tua? What do you do with Tua?
Man,
2 concussions this year. No, is it 3?
That's tough,
3.
man.
3.
It's really tough because you don't know where he's at. You're probably not gonna see him again this year.
Not, they already say he's not
playing. And you just don't know, man. And it's his contract year. He gonna want to be paid, but you ain't gonna want to pay him top dollar if he's damaged goods. That's just the way of the business in the NFL.
Right.
They might try their hand with Carr or Brady if he wants to move. I'm thinking the Miami Dolphins are gonna move on, or they probably move on, bro.
Move on. All right.
Yeah. I think with you got to figure out what's going on with Tua. In his situation, he has the 5th-year option coming up, so they have a real big decision to make this year, whether they're going to sign him or not. They also have 2 first-round picks this year also. So, I mean, this is going to be some tough thinking over these next couple of months for the Miami Dolphins. And, Tua has to do some soul searching also. How important is the game to you? How bad do you really want to play? Is it worth it? Because we've seen how he, when he plays at a high level, Viz, we said it, Tua is MVP type when he play at a high level. But, if he gets banged up and he falls off of, you can fall anytime and hit your head, man. That's the crazy part. So, I don't know. I think I would have to move. I would have to move on from Tua.
I think they keep him. As long as he say he wants to play and he checks out at the beginning of the next season. They got 2 first. I would pick him. I would keep him and still draft the quarterback if you could. They had a reassurance because you can't keep growing up with the backups you got with Bridgewater. He's the most unluckiest guy in the world. He always finds himself injured at some point where he can probably get. Not that mind. He's a at this point he's a career backup, right?
Yeah.
You can all agree.
Yeah.
It's healthy. So I say to keep him.
Can I go? I want to go. Nah. I think they move on. I mean, just me personally, I feel like, I got this theory that Tom Brady possibly would entertain Miami. So I mean, if that opportunity does present itself, I kind of see them moving on from Tua, man. Like, again, too. I mean, you can hit your head at any point during a football game, and then you out your quarterback. So I think it'll be smart for them to, move on and try to, go somewhere else quarterback wise. But we'll see.
Because I did see Brady kind of turn back the clock this past weekend when he was throwing them dimes to Mike Evans.
Yeah,
I think he still had. Yeah, watch what I'm saying. Waddle, Hill, Gesicki, just to name a few. You got the fast running back coming out the backfield, so he has weapons.
Got the weapons.
I would definitely take a 46-year-old Brady arm over a Tua arm because I'm gonna be honest. Tua doesn't throw the deep ball well. All of his deep balls are underthrown. All of them are underthrown. I think Brady has more arm strength than Tua. I'm gonna be honest.
I would agree with you. I would agree because watching their last game with Tua got. I made the mistake of saying he was capping because it was 2 different halves, but he threw 3 touchdowns in the first half. But if you watch those deep balls, it's Tyreek Hill coming back, Jalen Waddle coming back to the ball, getting the balls that the quarterback's not seeing because they're so underthrown. Right with that.
Mike Evans, the passes Brady was throwing to Mike Evans.
Like this 3 times, like it was there.
Deep.
Like,
deep passes.
That Brady
it looked like Moss in his prime.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's dropping them in the bucket, as they call it.
Right in the bucket. So so with the Jets, Jesus, you got two young quarterbacks he drafted. One really high. I think he was number 2 pick, right? Was it Zach Wilson number 2 pick?
The number 2 overall pick.
And then you got Mike White who took his spot, but he can't stay healthy or consistent. He had 2 good games, and you forget. So Robert Saleh, man, I watched that game this past Sunday, man. He's like a man who's defeated. Started off the year hot, and it's like, man, what happened? I think they move on from all of them. I think I don't know what they could do, but you can't. You definitely Wilson's not coming back. Might as well chop that up.
He out of there.
He's out of there.
Yeah.
See when as soon as they printed those T-shirts, he's out of there.
Yeah.
He's out of there. There's no way. There's no coming back from that.
Hey, yeah, the T-shirt was bad.
Yeah. So I think they will start off with Mike White, but I think they still Mike White still looking for somebody to take that number 1 spot. I don't think
it's the Jets. It's New York. And New York will definitely try to make a splash. Look for Derek Carr, possibly. I think they'll probably make a move trying to get Derek Carr. But to answer the question, I think they move on from both quarterbacks as well. Zach Wilson out of there. I think they love Mike White, but I think they kind of value him as a backup quarterback right now. The fact that he can't stay healthy is, hurting his cause. But if he could stay healthy, I think they would probably, move on with Mike White and go forward with him. But he can't stay healthy either. So I think they make a splash. I think they make a move at that quarterback position once the offseason approaches. So,
yeah,
I think injuries, the injury bug kind of took this team down.
mm-hmm.
They were doing good at first, and then once they lost the ability to run and to run an effective play action, they just started to get choked up by these teams' defenses. There's just too much for them to overcome with the inexperience that they have behind center. So I don't know if they're gonna go out and look for a veteran. I think that was you who was saying Carr was a good landing place.
That's true
for the Jets, but I can see them making a move like that. You know what I'm saying? Jets are not bad. They're not bad, but they need a couple more pieces.
But the Jets are also an organization I probably will stay away from. If I have my pickings, it's a couple of organizations I stay away from. And I hate to say it, the Lions are one of them. Because Lions will have this comeback season right now, and then we go back to being the same old Lions. This is how we roll. There's some organizations you just do not want to mess with. And I think the Jets are one of them. So if I'm them,
I'm gonna just piggyback on what Trill said. I don't trust any other quarterbacks. I don't trust Mike White. I don't trust Zach Wilson. I'm moving on from both of them. Yeah, they have the weapons. They have the run game. Even, what's his name? Bryce Hall. He tore his Achilles. So, what's his name?
Brees.
Brees Hall.
Brees Hall. Yeah, my fault. Brees Hall. Thank you. Brees Hall.
That was big too. That was a big loss for their offense.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was
man.
balling too.
And then with the wide receiver they got from Ohio State, Wilson, the Wilson kid, he's amazing. He's a true number 1. So you can get a good quarterback in there, not just anybody. I mean, they can get David Carr. David Carr wouldn't be bad. I think he'll still be like a bridge quarterback, and the only reason why is because he had about the same weapons in Oakland. The David Carr situation is going to be a real intriguing conversation because he has so many weapons in Oakland, and he still just didn't get it done. But
he needs to go to a great offensive coordinator, David Carr.
Yeah,
we'll talk about him more until the offseason.
Yeah.
But I think him finding the great. I have a lot of teams on here. I'm gonna skip a lot of them for time's sake.
Yeah.
I think the Ravens will be an interesting one. The Ravens, the boys still ain't got a contract offer. I mean, it's the last game of the season, and he's not playing again. Me personally, I'll cut ties before they even give me a chance to. All season. Now, another interesting thing I heard, which really was an eye opener, last 2-3 seasons, Second part of the year is when he get these injury bugs. Hasn't played a full season in his third straight year.
That's true.
Something the Ravens had to think about. So it's kind of that's probably one of their bargaining chips. Like, hey man, you're not healthy in the end of the season when we need you. I think this year, more likely is him saying, I don't want to risk it and then show out for somebody who wants to bring him in for training. So he's healthy. He's great. It could be that. But if I'm him, would you want to go back? Or if you're Ravens, would you want him back? I mean, the backup quarterback they have right now, Huntley, is playing decent. He's not Lamar Jackson. He has the same speed, but he doesn't have the same intangibles as Lamar. So as Ravens, what would you do?
It's interesting. I feel like the Raiders are one of those teams, though, that even if they did move on from him, the free agent market would lend itself to the organization, to where that's a destination that you're gonna want to go play because you know that if you go there, you're gonna be in the thick of things. You're gonna be competing. It's one of those teams that are perennial teams that they're gonna be competing.
Yeah.
They just need somebody who can spin it and pick up a few first downs when they need to, because pretty much their philosophy is to run the ball anyway.
Okay.
Run the ball, possession offense, and play good defense. So if you can they probably can find somebody on the free agent market who could fit the bill.
But you got it.
Looking at it like they don't need to break the bank for a quarterback to fit that.
But only rebuttal I had tomorrow, real quick, is but you still have to have that running quarterback to run that offense that Harbaugh runs. It's still set on having that option type running back to where you keep it as the yards. So you can't just find anybody on the open market. Derek Carr would not fit in that offense.
Nah.
He wouldn't.
So you got to have that quarterback. So I mean, they had the backup who has the speed and could run the actual option plays, but you still have to be able to throw the ball down the field too.
And I think it worked both ways also, because you can't put Lamar Jackson in every other offense in the NFL. So if I'm the Ravens, I'm gonna reach out to him and I'm gonna let them know that, hey, I mean, we're here for you. We got the offense set up for you. We just need you to stay healthy. Can you play a full season? Now, with this money situation, we're gonna have to figure out something. We're gonna try to figure it out. If I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I try my best to try to figure out this money situation. But Lamar, I also need you to stay healthy because we need you for the playoffs. We need you for the playoffs. So it's hard because the type of football he plays. It's hard to know if you're going to get that out of him. But if you can, I think that it's worth it. It's a high risk, but I think that it's worth it. I'll definitely try to sign him.
Yeah, I'm the same way too. I mean, I feel like they definitely need to go ahead and just get that man the bag. I mean, I asked the Baltimore Ravens this: do you really want to start over at the quarterback position? Right. Do you really want to, possibly, move on from a MVP player that's won MVP for you? I mean, I feel like they definitely need to go ahead and bring Lamar Jackson. Like Nucho said, you better reach out, try to make it work. Like, why start over? I mean,
what if they can start over with somebody like Hooker from Tennessee?
Yeah, he's not Lamar Jackson.
Right. That's the big risk. And if they get him.
Yeah.
And it's a big risk. It's a big risk.
It's a take that risk more. If you're the Baltimore Ravens, are you willing to take that risk?
Well, you're talking about an MVP.
Well, let's talk about it. Today's NFL, the teams that are winning are usually teams that are winning with a quarterback that's good enough for them to get by on a rookie deal, because that way they can maximize the rest of their roster.
Yeah.
And it's those quarterbacks that are getting the big bags that have already established themselves as superstars. You know what I'm saying? Those teams, they can lure other free agents in to get a discount, or hey, come join forces so you can try to win this ring. But If you haven't done that, then paying your quarterback is typically not the answer. Not working out for teams. That's why Minnesota is trash on defense this year. If they didn't give Kirk Cousins that bag, they could have paid for more defense. So,
yeah, but
who would they have throwing the ball to Jefferson?
right.
Somebody could do what Kirk Cousins.
I mean, Mark, you act like the quarterback position is just easy to play. Like it's not.
The Super Bowl champs, the Super Bowl champ Rams had to go pay for a quarterback. They paid Matthew Stafford a lot of money to get out there to LA and bring them a Super Bowl pick. They traded away every draft pick. Not every draft pick,
They needed that gun. You know what I'm saying? They was like, look, we got the scope, we got all the attachments to go with it. We just need that gun.
And speaking of that trade, we was talking about how early we might have to replace Goff. Goff's not the problem in Detroit. He's a good quarterback. Yeah. He just wasn't the quarterback to get them over that hump.
Okay,
but
now you're talking about. Well, even when you look at Jared Goff's situation, they talking about on the radio. Are you gonna pay him in 2 years?
Oh boy, Charlie Smith, man. What else, CJ?
Are you gonna be willing to pay him $40 million in 2 years?
Exactly.
No, but look, what you talking about? Okay. You talking about starting off with a quarterback, come out of college, off an ACL tear. Like he's coming off injury.
Who?
Him go
Hooker.
Hooker.
Run that offense.
I want him.
That ACL don't look like it's driving him.
What?
Mar, you would be a horrible GM, bro.
Where's your horrible
GM? Run this option left.
Run this option left.
No,
option
I
right.
wouldn't have him run the option
right.
That's their
offense.
I'm saying,
options and RPOs, bro.
Okay, that wasn't their offense when they won the championship. So don't say that they can't run a different type of scheme to win.
Yeah.
No, but you
see,
I
would take.
Come on.
Now, Marv isn't wrong. Hooker's a good prospect, but Hooker is a prospect that you would probably want to sit for a year. I don't think Hooker is like a Stroud or Bryce Young that you're gonna throw in right out the gate.
He might not. He's not pulling up in that limo like, hey, I'm here to take y'all.
Yeah. You want to sit Hooker for a year.
But I'm saying though, the formula is out there. You find your Joe Burrows, you find your young stud,
okay,
and you know what I'm saying. You work with that.
Those quarterbacks you just named are coming out the gate starting. Joe Burrow, coming out the gate starting. These quarterbacks ain't sitting no more. If you sitting now as a rookie quarterback, going into your second or third year, they don't believe that much into you.
Right.
All these quarterbacks now getting drafted are playing right off the rip. They don't have time to sit. You don't have time to have a Jordan Love who's still sitting in Green Bay. What does that say about Jordan Love? Still sitting.
And probably going to be a free agent in about a year.
And going to be, and it's like, well, we don't have no tape. Why you don't have no tape? You didn't play. You're not better than Aaron Rodgers.
But there's those quarterbacks that we were high on that got drafted high that didn't come out starting. That it took it took them a half a season to start. They didn't start week one.
I'm not saying that. Well, he's not even. Jordan Love still sitting the bench 3 years later.
That's one example, and he must be garbage.
I know, because every quarterback now is coming in. So you're talking about taking a quarterback coming off an ACL tear, possibly replace Lamar Jackson, MVP, AFC champion quarterback, off rip. I'm going to not even start.
I'm saying that sometimes you have to make that decision of, do I torpedo the whole rest of my roster, or do I pay this money?
Yeah, but that means you're about to rebuild then. A team who's a consistent playoff team, you're bringing a quarterback to replace him, a rookie quarterback off ACL to replace a guy who's in the playoffs.
You have to put together a 3-year plan in order to get to where you want to go.
Pay them, man.
Pay that man.
I feel you, though, Marv. I feel you.
I do. I'm not just getting Marv that way, but
I do feel you. But in that situation, if I'm not drafting a quarterback and a top 5 quarterback, I'm not replacing Lamar with a second, late first, late early second. He got to be a top 5, but I do feel you, Marv. I do feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that took a turn. Uh, I had a lot of teams on here. I think the only one I really want to talk about probably next is just for time, man. Okay, Tennessee. Tennessee is an interesting one because it's right off what we're talking about. Tannehill's hurt. He was done a couple weeks ago. They bring Malik Hooker in. Not Malik Hooker. That's his name.
Malik Willis.
Malik
Dobbs.
Willis. Malik Willis in.
I'm at Malik Willis.
They gave him and I blame Tennessee for that. They gave him that vanilla offense run. They say, hey, we know you got talent, but let's still give Henry 40 touches. And then the last game, Henry didn't play. They still had Malik Willis. And they still lost. And then they bring in the
Joshua
undrafted
Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs in. He's starting again this week.
I don't know what the fuck Tennessee doing, to be honest with you. I really don't. Like,
They ruining his confidence is what they do.
yeah,
Exactly.
you cannot do that to a young quarterback, especially a quarterback like Willis. Like, you might as well just take your L's with your young stud quarterback. That's the only way he's gonna develop. That's the only way he's gonna get experience. He has to be on the field. Like, I wanted to see Willis against my Cowboys, but they felt like Dobbs been in the league about 6 years, 7 years now.
Yeah.
So I guess they felt like they needed the experience. But my thing is, why did you draft Malik Willis if you're not gonna let him play? Like, I don't know what Tennessee doing.
I mean, I think Tennessee fell off when they started trading them receivers. You had stud receivers, AJ Brown, and they sent one over to the Jets, who were their top. Real quick, man, my homie CJ Charlie right there. He got 2K. He gets 2K every year. All he does is play the franchise, offline franchise. He started a franchise with the Orlando Magic, man. I got the Magic on. He loves Paulo. He follows. Shout out to the homie, man. But I don't. Josh Dobbs, and this is a game for Tennessee. Is a playoff game. I mean, it can decide a playoff, and then bringing the guy who's on the league in the team for a few weeks, as opposed to a guy who's been there all season, knows the playbook.
Right.
They won't unleash him. Maybe they see something we don't see, which goes back to what Marv was saying.
Gotta be
about bringing you guys in and they're not ready or trash. But golly.
Real quick, I think the problem too, I was gonna say, and I mean this is just from what I heard, they're saying Malik Willis is struggling to see the field, as far as like being able to identify coverages and things of that nature. So I mean that could factor into why they're doing what they're doing, but I mean at the same time, for me, put them out there, get that experience until you get it right. So
and I trust Mike, the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. I don't think Malik is ready. And the reason why I said that is because how much confidence did we have in Tannehill before he went to Tennessee?
Zero.
None, right? Zero. Mike took him and said, I see it. I can win some games with you. You're going to be my starter. So with him saying that, it must be something that he's seeing Malik that he's like, I don't trust you doing that, man. I don't trust calling that play for you because I've seen you in practice. You're not going to make the right decision. I can't risk that turnover right here. I love Malik Willis, and in the playoffs, he had some highlights that were all running plays. He had a couple of passing ones, like a little passing ones. All had to do with his legs a little bit, but he might not make it, and that's okay. That's okay. It's still early. It's not saying he's gonna be a bust. It's still early, but he might not make it, man. He just might not. For the fact that y'all brought a stranger, Josh Dobbs, in out the blue and said, "Can you hear you? You're down here. You're probably gonna start this Thursday. I need you to get down here as quick as you can and get your playbook." Lets me know that they're with Malik Willis more than we are. They done seen him call the plays. They done seen him run the plays. They don't trust him. They don't trust him. Not saying he can't get his feet in back under him, but they see something that made them be like, hey, yeah, we can make the playoffs. Can we trust Malik out there?
The way they doing him,
the way they draft Malik Willis,
body language, on that side of the
Second round. Think second round. Yeah.
the way that they're doing Willis and the way his body language looked in that game when Dobbs was starting, I wouldn't be surprised that at the end of the season they come out and say that it was something off the field with Malik. I just feel like that. I just have a hunch, not nothing I heard. I just have a hunch. But
like that Brady, his goons being goons, his bodyguard.
hey, that was real. But
I still ain't seen that shit, Marv. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Again, bro. Stop capping. Stop.
I'm just saying, bro. I even googled that shit, bro. Google was looking at me like, "What is he looking for?" Like, it just wasn't there. Like,
I've been seeing you the link, bro.
Send it, bro.
Send it right now.
All right, cool.
Oh my bad. Go ahead, Mark.
But yeah, I just feel like it's something. It's got to be something more there than what meets the eye. I feel.
Other than him, just like you said earlier, quote unquote, being trash. You know, something that we're not seeing. So we'll do one more. 49ers, man, they got a lot of decisions to make. Mr. Irrelevant guys showing up, showing out. I mean, he's winning games. You got two quarterbacks coming back. Well, Garoppolo signed a 1-year deal, right? Before the season.
Ooh, was it a 1 or a 2?
I think it might have been 2. I think it was. I think it was a couple years.
You got Trey Lance. All of them be back training camp. All three. But the way Purdy is playing, I mean, he's not wowing and everything, but he's winning games. And that defense is that good to where it makes him look better than what he probably really is.
Right.
What do you do?
The beautiful thing with Joey is that's always going to be trade bait, no matter what. I don't feel like if you want to trade Garoppolo week 1, preseason, offseason, I don't think nobody will be mad at that. But Brock Purdy and Trey Lance got to battle it out. Got to battle it out. What Brock has done, I mean, it's been good. It's been good football. It's been great football. It's going to be interesting to see what he do in the playoffs. But yeah, man, Lance, and they got to battle it out, man. Y'all traded up to get Trey Lance, man. Y'all got to battle this out. I'm still going to go into next season as Trey Lance as my starter, but they're going to have a battle. They definitely going to have a battle. But Garoppolo, he could get traded.
I mean, I feel you on that, but I don't feel like they have to battle it out just because of where you drafted Trey Lance. Like, Trey Lance, you invested a whole lot in Trey Lance. So, I mean, off top, you got to start him. I mean, he has to be your day one starter when he's healthy. But, you know, again, if he gets to struggling and, you know, the offense is not doing what it's supposed to do, then you may have to, you know what I'm saying, make that switch. But yeah, like you said, Jimmy G, good trade chip. I think he'll be traded at some point. Trey Lance is your starter. And I think, I mean, don't get me wrong, Brock is doing his thing, but I mean, just where you drafted Trey Lance, man, you gotta ride with Trey Lance regardless. Right. So
yeah, probably had to battle it out. I think Nucho probably came up with the best solution for that scenario and for what that team has got to offer. And who knows? You know what I'm saying? If you go out there and pick up a piece with that Jimmy trade or get something of value and strengthen your team, that's a bonus too. Jimmy G to go and the two young boys to thug it out.
Yeah. And it's still early as far as the Brock Purdy go. I mean, year 2 might come around and he might not even look the same. Teams don't really have, you know, we just not gathering film on him. So it's going to be interesting going forward to see how he reacts to the defenses that, you know, teams playing for him.
Well, the playoff is going to tell whether or not he actually got it or if this is, you know, a mute point to, you know, do will we even be discussing this next year?
Yeah.
If he come out there and he bomb and he looks like Mr. Irrelevant, then it's over. Unfortunately, somebody might take a chance, but then it will be Trey Lance and Jimmy G battling it out next year.
Yeah.
But if he goes out
Well,
there and he holds his own, Jimmy G probably gonna be out the door.
yeah.
I mean, in 8 games he played in, he's almost 1,200 yards passing, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Already has 11 less sacks in 3 games than Garoppolo. He's a little more quick on his feet. But if I'm completely honest, I would probably go on the training camp, maybe after training camp with the 49ers with 3 quarterbacks. Where the injuries hit them so hard, you don't want to be without. And you have 3 quarterbacks who are serviceable, and with Shanahan's playbook, with a full year with having Chris McCaffrey, Debo. I'll go with 3 quarterbacks. Probably honest, if they all in the contract too. So what are you losing?
That's true.
So we're gonna go to that. We're gonna go right to our predictions, man. We're gonna go. I got a bunch more teams. I'm gonna say those. It's pretty good discussions, man. I'm gonna say them for over the next couple of weeks. We'll go right to our week 17 predictions, man. First one, which is playoff implications. 79 Titans at the 8-8 Jaguars. I kick it off, man. I'm going with the Jaguars. Keep it rolling. I just don't. Even though Josh Dobbs didn't look bad, I just trust Peterson and the Jaguars more than I trust Dobbs in that offense. We don't know. We still don't know if Derrick Henry's going to be back or not, which is big.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going with the Jags. Trevor Lawrence is showing flashes of being a great quarterback one day in this league, and I just don't think the Titans have a Cowboys. We played to the level of competition. I think the Jags might probably jump on them and just beat them down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with the Jags as well. They're playing with confidence. Trevor Lawrence starting to look like, that top quarterback that where they drafted him. So Titans are still trying to figure things out, especially at one of the most important positions, quarterback. So I feel like the Jags will win this game easy.
I think Trevor Lawrence and the Jags are just hotter right now.
Yeah.
And that's why they're gonna come up with this dub. Titans seem all over the place. Like Vizza was saying earlier, the offense is vanilla. Everybody know if Henry is out there, you're gonna run it 40 times. Yeah, I like the Jags in this spot. Trevor Lawrence is looking better and better as a quarterback and as a thrower of the football. So Jaguars to win that game.
All right. Homie, the Nashvilleian that he is, he picked the Titans. Yeah, what the spread was. He's another degenerate when it comes to these old spread numbers. The Titans are +6, man. So you take that if you want to. Next game, we got the Ravens. Tennessee Ravens at the 11-4 Bills. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think Lamar Jackson will play. I think he was questionable last week. I think he will be on the field. I don't know how much the Bengals will play, knowing that they don't have. If they lose, I think they'll still be in the same spot based off the canceled game from last week. So I don't know what the starters look like for the Bengals, but I know the Ravens need it more. I'm going with the Ravens. Lamar come back. No, yeah, Ravens.
I'm going with the Bengals, man. I just think the Bengals are playing crazy right now. The Ravens defense haven't looked like the Ravens defense of late, so I'm gonna go with Cincinnati and Joe.
I'm going with Joe, with Cool Joe. He's at home. Bengals have been rolling. I don't see why they would end up losing to a backup.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals on this too. Even if Lamar Jackson comes back, I think he'll be a little rusty. He's been out for some weeks, so I'm gonna go with Joe and the Bengals on this one.
All right. Just to be clear, both teams have clinched the playoff spots already. So, um, win or lose, they both ran. This part is just based on seed at this point with them. All right. Next, we got the 8-8 Bills. I'm an 8-8 Patriots at the 10-3, 12-3 Bills. Now, tough game for the Bills to play. Don't know how much their heart will be into it, knowing that their fellow teammate is in the situation that he's in.
Right.
The Patriots absolutely need this game because as of right now, they are they're in the 7th spot right now. So they're currently out of it. But I don't think they can catch anybody. They're not eliminated. I think they need a lot of help. So I think the Patriots will play up, and the Bills will, emotional. A lot of emotions going. So, and they're the top seed right now, number 2 seed right now. So, unless they really want the number 1 seed, and by them having a game not played because last week, we don't know what they'll do. So I'm gonna go with the Patriots to take advantage of what's going on.
Yeah. I think they're going. I think the Bills are going to go out and play hard. I I don't know. This Patriots team's a little funny acting, but I think it's going to be the opposite. That they're going to look at what happened to their teammate last week and kind of play for them and set the tone going forward into the playoffs. So yeah, I got the Bills winning this one.
Yeah, I was pretty much gonna say the same thing. They're gonna be motivated to play.
Yeah.
And then I think also too, they want to build some confidence, going into the postseason as well. Because these last few weeks they haven't really been looking like the Buffalo Bills. So I expect
Right.
them to come out and try to establish some confidence, and then I think they'll beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I think y'all mentioned it earlier, but I feel like the Bills play up, playing for a teammate that's fallen, who everybody's pulling for. Um, they're going to lift them up. They probably gonna have patches all over the helmet and jerseys for them. They're gonna be way too pumped up, to let the Patriots come to their house and fill a dub.
All right. So we go from that 7-9 Bills at the 8-8 Dolphins. Dolphins. I mean, the Jets are already eliminated. Dolphins have a chance. A lot of things go their way, but a dub would certainly help them on that way. Both have quarterback issues. The Dolphins are down to their third string going in this game. Tua is not cleared. Bridgewater has a broken finger on one of his hands. With that, I still think I will go with the Dolphins because the talent around wherever quarterback can have with a week of practice now. You already been on the
Right.
team, learning the playbook. Maybe he can get the deep field pass that they've been waiting on. So I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jets. You playing the rookie quarterback Skylar Thompson for the Dolphins. He looked horrible in last week's game, and I think the spirits are kind of down in Miami, man. Honestly, I think the spirits are a little down in Miami. So I just think this is the perfect trap game for the Jets to kind of get on them, just for one last hoorah.
Who's playing quarterback for the Jets? Is Mike White
I
back?
think it's
He
Mike White
back?
still.
He back?
Yeah, I think Mike White.
If Mike White's back, I'm gonna go with the Jets on this one.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jets.
Um, yeah, it's tough to win in this league with a backup. It's even tougher to win in this league with a third string.
Oh no, they're doing it in San Francisco.
That's I don't have it every bro.
It's true.
I don't know.
I don't have
Let's
it.
be honest, that defense that he
Yeah,
has
defense
is
is not.
definitely helping him.
You
Big
know,
time.
he got weapons everywhere, and he got one of the most schemingest coaches out there. Um, but I'm gonna take the Jets on this one if they got a t-shirt quarterback out there.
Uh, we're back up. Okay. 7-9 Browns at the 8-8 Steelers. Still two teams. Well, the Browns are out. Browns eliminated. Pittsburgh is still one of those teams that needs definitely need Miami to lose, definitely need Baltimore to lose, and definitely need New England to lose. They need a lot of help. With that being said, Browns haven't looked bad the last few weeks since getting Deshaun back. I think they just go into Pittsburgh and take the dub.
Mm, I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh.
Mm.
Um, I like Mike Tomlin a whole lot. For him to be where he's at right now with this team, that's saying a lot about him.
Yeah.
So I feel like he'll have them boys up ready to play, and I feel like they'll beat the Browns. So I'm gonna go with the Steelers on this one.
Go ahead, Mark.
I take the Steelers in this. I'm a Tomlin fan. Um, they've been playing well. They've done, obviously fought their way back to 500 football. Um, and out there in Pittsburgh, those fans go crazy. It's going to be a big time atmosphere. Um, I think they definitely get that. I think Pittsburgh gets that dub. It'll be close, but they get it.
Yeah, and to put this out there, the Steelers are currently 8-8. They have not had a losing record on Mike Tomlin yet, so that's probably some more motivation to play for. His tenure there
Mhm.
does not have a losing record, so a lot to play for there. Like I said, 9-6-1 Giants at a 13-3 Eagles. Jalen Hurts to be back. I don't know why they're playing him. I wouldn't play him. Um, but when he's in, they're great. They are great. The Giants are just happy to be there. They clinched the playoff spot. I think the Eagles go ahead just establish dominance early, get the game over with. Both teams get out of there, get ready for the playoffs. So I got the Eagles winning convincingly.
Uh, I think the reason that they gotta throw Hurts out there is because he got to get his timing back. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, he already gonna have a week, probably more than likely have a week off if they win this game. So you don't want him to be sitting for 5 weeks straight, something like that. Um, so I think 4 or 5 weeks. So um, they want to make sure he's still there's nothing for them to see or ain't nothing messed up with him. That's something they need to know going into the playoffs. So check them out. They probably treat it like a preseason game. Probably only play, so many snaps.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. As much as I would love to see the Giants win this game, I think the Eagles will win. Like Marv said, they'll probably treat it like a preseason game. Jalen Hurts will go out there. He'll dominate. I think he'll be okay. I hate saying that, being a Cowboy fan, but I got to be a realist. I got to be real about the situation. So, but y'all see the Eagles winning this game easily. And like you said, I think the both teams are just ready to, just wrap it up and get ready for that postseason run. So, I'm gonna go with the Eagles on this one.
All right. Next game up, we got the 12-4 Cowboys at the 7-8-1 Commanders. I'll let the Cowboys die hard kick us off.
I heard the Commanders are starting a third string quarterback this week.
Well, they're going back to Tyler Heineke.
Are we certain about that? Because I seen something otherwise. I seen somebody else is supposed to be starting. I don't even know the dude's name. I'm gonna
I
have to check
will,
that.
I will check for you while you talk.
Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna go. Of course, I'm going with the Cowboys. I think these last couple of weeks,
Oh,
especially with the Titans, We didn't really play up to par. So I feel like McCarthy is gonna have the Cowboys up for this game, just to kind of establish, some confidence going into that postseason. So the Cowboys win easy this game.
So yeah, you are correct. It was Sam Howell. So when I saw it this morning at 12 hours ago, it was Heineke.
Mm,
4 hours later, they switched it over to Sam Howell. So
yeah,
I don't know what happened in with that 4 hours, but and they got their guy, which is I like Heineke. But you know, when he starts, and this is fantasy talk only, when he starts, my boy Scary Terry don't get the ball. So I don't know if they know what this guy can bring to the table, but hey, that's what they're not in the playoffs anyway. So why not? This is the time to check, see what you got in your backfield. Marv, did you pick for this game already?
Yeah, I got the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Cowboys too. They don't have to. They probably won't play a lot of starters. Well, they might try to get that number one, the top seed, but if they see things getting ugly early, why not pull you guys out, man? Get them out of there.
Yeah.
And this is a game that can affect us, Marv. Trill's offline for a second. So we keep rolling. The 5-11 Rams at the 8-8 Seahawks. We're rooting for the Rams.
We are definitely rooting for the Rams.
And don't get us wrong, if you like me, we rooted for the Rams in the Super Bowl. So it's nothing new to us because, Stafford ties, but hey, we need them to win more than ever. It's gonna be tough. They don't have no Sam Darnold. I mean, Sam Darnold? Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald. The DT is not playing. Stack not in. No Cooper Cup. Your boy Mayfield has been playing average at best. Much as I hate to say it, I think the Seattle win and crushes our playoff hopes. Or part of our playoff hopes. We still got to play the Packers.
Well, like I say, the Lions will know, and we'll know. One thing that I took away from this is that we'll know more about the Lions, because even if they know that they can't go to the playoffs, they should at least be motivated to go stick it to the Packers.
Yeah.
And have a winning season. That's important. So finish the season strong, show us this grit that we've been sold on Hard Knocks, and finish the season strong. You should be good enough to go beat this Green Bay team, even though they're a hot team. And that's the other thing too. Beat somebody that's good and show us.
And you know what? I think Hard Knocks is a curse. Because if you think about it, Hard Knocks in the beginning of the season was about us, 1-6. Second half of the season goes to the Cardinals. They struggle. Is there such thing as a Hard Knocks curse? I'm gonna look into that and when the air and how teams look.
Gotta look into it. We gotta look into it. Might have to bring that to them next week.
That's tough. When we got off air and a couple weeks afterward, we got back on track.
Right.
Now the Cardinals is feeling the fate of the Hard Knocks curse. I want to see who else gonna talk about that in the media because it's definitely real. So the game of the week potentially, like I said, if Seattle wins, it is the mute point, and we can just take pride in beating Green Bay and Green Bay. We beat them once earlier in the season. I'm not gonna lie, Marv. If the chips on the line, it comes down to us beating Green Bay in Green Bay. I'm going with the Packers, man. They've been hot. I mean, they missed their quote unquote number one wide receiver last week. They missed beat their running game has came to life, and the last 3 weeks, our running game, that Carolina game showed everybody a lot. Hey, just run the ball on Detroit.
Rinse and repeat.
And they got 2 good running backs. And so the fact that we're in Green Bay in January is Aaron Rodgers' time to shine. He's smiling. And earlier his receivers blaming on him. They smiling. He's discount double checking in the end zone, he faked out a safety. A 30-plus-year-old quarterback pump faked the safety looking right at him and ran past him for a touchdown. I hear you, Charlie. I hear you, CJ. Yeah, we in Green Bay in January. I don't trust him. I don't trust the running game.
Well, I'm gonna say this though. I don't trust Green Bay's ability to stop the run. Jamal Williams has been telling me something.
Swift had a big game last week.
And I feel like, hey, young boy, you got some old heads out there you can take advantage of if you do your fly routes.
I agree with you to a point because we did say I can claim I'm just a realist, man. I'm a realist when it comes to my team. You seen Zaire Alexander shut down your boy Jefferson and then did his dance on him. We don't have a Jefferson. We don't have a Justin Jefferson. We don't have an Adam Thielen.
We got a St. Brown. We got a Jameson.
I got you.
And we got those other guys, Reynolds. We got some guys out there that can go.
And honestly, who's a better
fly route them all, man?
I got you. Who's a better quarterback, Goff or Cousins?
Was the game prime time?
Yeah, it was Sunday night. I thought it was Sunday night.
Off.
Oh, tough take.
If we're talking prime time, Cousins does not perform on prime time.
Okay. Yeah, because they Green Bay's defense shut them down early, and they just couldn't recover. I mean, you hold Justin Jefferson in one catch for under 15 yards. And you got Giant.
That's got to be on Cousins and the coordinator and everybody who was involved with the team.
That's true.
One thing I do know,
very low.
Cousins is a failure on primetime football. Every time.
I get it, man. But that defense took out their best player early.
After 4, counted as a loss.
I understand that, but we don't have those. We don't have those guys. Now, granted, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a beast. He's a beast, but he's a possession receiver. He's more like Golden Tate. He's gonna get you them yards after the catch. We don't have nobody to break the ceiling off unless Jameson Williams can get loose. I just don't see it. And with Green Bay's running back coming alive like they did last week,
I want to see some 3 and 4 wide receiver sets. Give me Jameson on one side, give me DJ on the other, and St. Brown across the middle.
And then granted, we are a healthier team than we played in the first time, which was an advantage to us. We wasn't really all that healthy the first time we played, but I don't know, man. Aaron Rodgers is my favorite quarterback to watch, man.
And put Swift in motion and run him to the flat. See how y'all handle that.
Okay, it's gonna be a good game if it's necessary because
like said, 23.
It's all a moot point. If Seattle wins and take care of business, it's all a moot point, and we just cheering for our team. So that'll do it with our predictions, man. And don't forget, we are on Spotify, man. I didn't get the last episode up last week, but I will this upcoming week. You guys get a double header. I put both of them on. I'm trying to get them one out Friday and get the other one out Saturday. But we are on Spotify under the same name, SCD Podcast. Thank you for everybody who showed up in the comment section, everybody who's on right now. Everybody who's been rocking with us for day one, man. We start off as a small thing, man, with a group of friends, just want to talk sports, and we're trying to make moves to get bigger and bigger. But as long as we get you guys support, tuning in every week, we'll be okay. Like I said, we're having fun doing this.
For sure, man. Thank y'all for rocking out with us. Thank everybody who comes out support. Thank everybody who's been staying down, and thank the newcomers too. So appreciate y'all.
We got a long way to go, man. What we trying to do, man. As long as we get you guys in here supporting regularly, showing up, commenting, we take any suggestions too. You guys want to hear something we don't talk about, which is primarily baseball and hockey. We'll do the best way we can, man. We got a lot of different people who like different things. We'll try the best of our ability, but my homie CJ, man, appreciate you showing up. Gotta get him on the show, man. True Nashvilleian. He's a Duke fan. No, not Duke. I'm sorry, Notre Dame fan.
Kyrie said we got to get ASW on there.
I'm trying to set up an ASW takeover, man. I put that in the chat. Nobody responded. I'll do it again. Try to get ASW takeover show. Y'all the crew in here. But other than that, man, thank you everybody who tuned in. Appreciate you. And we are out.